Hello everyone. Today we will discuss another topic under banking and insurance law. Today's topic is recovery of debts with or without intervention of courts and tribunals. We have already discussed the topic related to how defaults have been made by the public who have taken loan from the banks, then how the bank introduced the concept of recovery of debts. There are different methods which are used to recover debts, and we have already discussed SARFAESI Act with regard to this and the RT Act. The list of topics to be covered here is concept of recovery of debts. We will discuss what is this particular concept is all about. Then we will discuss two different methods of recovery of debts. First is without intervention of court or tribunals, the procedure related to it, and then there is a recovery procedure under SARFAESI Act 2002. Second method of recovery of debts is the intervention of court and tribunals under DRT Act, and the procedure related to it. The concept of recovery of debts. Default is the failure to repay a debt, including interest or principal, on a loan or security. Debt means any liability inclusive of interest which is claimed as due from any person by a bank of a financial institution which is legally recoverable. Recovery is defined as the process of regaining and saving something lost or in danger of becoming cost. Debt recovery is when a loan, such as a credit card balance, continues to go unpaid or a creditor hires a third party, known as a collection service, to focus on the collecting of the money. Debt recovery is important because it is directly correlated to your credit score. Recovery of loan is one of the most difficult problems to be tackled by the financial institutions, irrespective of whether the loan is a short, medium, or long term, or to whom the loan is disbursed, that is, the type of the borrower, which may either the large, medium, or small scale industries, transporters, exporters, traders, agriculturists, and professionals, etc. The recovery of debt is done with two kind of process. First is without the intervention of the court or the tribunals, and second one is with the intervention of courts and tribunals. First, we will discuss the recovery of debt without intervention of courts and tribunals. Following can be the short and long-term measures for ensuring timely recovery of debt, rescheduling the repayment period and to take rehabilitation measures if required, a proper and timely study of the units for ascertaining the causes of sickness and for assessing their liabilities become imperative. If the units are found potentially viable, they must be put immediately under nursing programs so that when out of the adversity they may start repaying the loans. Now, the procedure related to it could be reducing willful defaults by resorting to greater emphasis on recovery, proper education and training to staff, blacklisting of intentional defaulters, and by providing faster and more effective legal support, providing incentives to staff members if they help in recovery, sticky advances on the same line if they happen to fetch deposits. By bringing about healthy changes in the behavior of branch managers towards the recovery of such loans which have not been sanctioned during their tenure. Instead, resorting to filing of suits, in such cases, a manager and officers may be made to understand by proper education and training that if the unit can be revived back to health, it should be so done in the interest of borrower, financing institution, and the nation at large. Now there is a recovery process under SARFAESI Act. The SARFAESI Act 2002 has empowered the banks and financial institutions with a vast power to enforce the security charged to them. Enforcement of security interest by creditor is being dealt under Section 13 of the SARFAESI Act 2002, where any borrower who is under a liability to a secured creditor under a security agreement makes any default in repayment of secured debt or any installment thereof, and his account in respect of such debt is classified by the secured creditor as non-performing asset. Then, the secured creditor may require the borrower by notice in writing to discharge in full his liabilities to the secured creditor within 60 days from the date of notice, failing which the secured creditor shall be entitled to exercise all or any of the rights. The requirement of classification of secured debt as non-performing asset shall not apply to a borrower who has raised funds through issue of debt securities. And And in the event of default, the debenture trustees shall be entitled to enforce security interest in the same manner as provided under this section, with such modifications as may be necessary and in accordance with the terms and conditions of security document executed in favor of the debenture trustee. The notice shall be given, give details of the amount payable by the borrower and the secured assets intended to be enforced by the secured creditor in the event of non-payment of secured debt by the borrower. If, on the receipt of notice, the borrower makes any representation or raises any object, the secured creditor shall consider such representation or object, and if the secured creditor becomes to the conclusion that such representation or objection is not acceptable or tenable, he shall communicate within 15 days of receipt of such representation or object the reasons for non-acceptance of the representation or objection to the borrower. In case the borrower fails to discharge his liabilities in full within the period specified, the secured creditor may take recourse to one or more of the following measures to recover his secured debt, take possession of the secured assets, and take over the management of the business. Now let's discuss another recovery process. Recovery of debt with intervention of tribunals and courts. Debt recovery tribunals (DRT) and debt recovery appellate tribunals (DRAT) have been constituted under the provision of the DRT Act for the establishment of tribunals for expeditious adjudication and recovery of debts due to bank and financial institutions and for matters connected therewith. DRT has also been given the power to adjudicate the applications filed by the borrower's mortgagors against the action of the secured creditor initiated under the Securitization Act. Where the bank or a financial institution has to recover a debt, application in the prescribed form will have to be filled with tribunal. The tribunal will issue summons requiring the defendant to show cause within 30 days of the service of summons. Before passing any order, including interim order, both the applicant and defendant will be given the opportunity of being heard. The tribunal may also consider counterclaims and set off from the defendant. The tribunal may, after being satisfied, consider to exclude a counterclaim of the defendant and dispose of the same independently. If an application in this respect is filed by the applicant, the tribunal may make an interim order by way of injunction, stay, attachment, debarring defendant from transferring, alienating, or disposing of any property and assets without its prior permission. At any stage of the proceedings, if the tribunal is satisfied that the defendant intends to obstruct or delay or frustrate the execution of the recovery order, he may be ordered to furnish security of specified sum, failing to which attachment orders may be followed. The tribunal may appoint a receiver of any property and confer upon him all such powers like bringing and defending suit in the court of filing defending application before the tribunal, realization, management, protection, preservation and improvement of the property, collection of rents and profits arising from the property, and application and disposal of such rent and as profits, execution of documents or other powers which the tribunal thinks fit. The tribunal may also appoint commissioner for the preparation of an inventory of the properties of the defendant or the sale thereof, disobedience of or breach of any of the terms of the order of the tribunal may result in detention of the guilty person in civil prison for a term not exceeding 3 months. The application shall be disposed of as far as possible within 180 days from the date of its receipt. A certificate will be issued to the recovery officer for recovery of amount of debt specified in the certificate. The tribunal may order to distribute the sale proceeds among the secured creditors in accordance with the provision of Section 529A of the Companies Act 1956 and to pay the surplus, if any, to the company where a recovery certificate is issued against a company. The tribunal issuing recovery certificates, if satisfied that the property is situated within the jurisdiction of two or more tribunals, may send the copies of recovery certificate for execution to such other tribunals also. An appeal may be preferred to an appellate tribunal within a period of 45 days from the date of order. However, the appellate tribunal may condone the delay in preferring an appeal beyond 45 days if sufficient causes are shown. So, this is the procedure where with the intervention of tribunal and court, the banks and financial institutions recover their debts.